Hey there, it's Bonnie from Drawing Logs. So today I want to talk to you about what I've been preparing for the upcoming school year. It is August, or almost August, end of July, and school's coming quickly. So here's what we've gotten so far. I went the other day to Staples. We're from Canada, so Staples is usually a good place to go, and they have all their school stuff in, and they have a lot of clearance items too. So I got another package of scissors. I only had one pair of scissors last year, and we found that we kept losing them, and then I'd have to get my kid to use like big scissors. So I got a little package of these, and I also found these Hilroy books. These are super basic. Everyone has had them in school books. They have the lined paper where kids who are learning to draw letters can draw. I shop a lot online because we're 2 hours from the nearest small city, and so I could not find what these were called online or where to buy them. And they are a Hilroy exercise book, dotted interlined exercise book. So you can look them up online, but I did find them at Staples. I wanted them for letter practicing, and maybe we'll get into writing stories or letters and stuff like that. So I got a couple of those. For stationery, we always have things like glue, crayons, markers. I didn't go buy all new stuff like that. I'm not going to do that every year. We got to use up what we have. I do go through my markers every year and make sure all of them work. Any that don't work, throw them out so they don't collect. Yeah, so we have all of our stationery stuff. Paint, have basically a craft box. I don't buy specific school crafting things because we use it more. Other than that, for stationery things, not much. Like we still have his pencil case from last year that I got from well.ca, and it's got all of his pencil crayons, and well, there are the scissors from last year. Pencil crayons in it, and pencils, pencil sharpener, can all fit in there. So next year, we're doing kindergarten this upcoming fall. Last year we did like a pre-kindergarten, so I'm going to be using the Melissa and Doug calendar again. It has all the holidays on it. It was a great purchase. Lots of things you can change. You can customize it for what you're doing. It has all the months of the year. It has holidays. It has things that you might do, like lost a tooth, you eat out, study, play date, football, music lessons, shopping. So you can have a lot of fun putting magnets on the calendar with your kids. That's very interactive, multiple times. So you don't just set it up once at the beginning of the month. You can use it throughout the month. Something else that we're going to do next year or this year coming is our weather board. I took a big cork board and I cut out felt sunshine, clouds, rain. So we'll be doing our weather board again this year. Also, we'll be hanging up our map again. I bought, in my last video, I bought a stick-on wall decal map with the animals. I took it off for the summer and I just put it on these sleeves, like just stuck it on so that it would stay clean. And so I have a whole folder of these sleeves to come off again, and we'll recreate it on our wall so that we have our world map back. Also, these bins behind me here, these are really great. I had this little shelf from a long time ago. It's a Rubbermaid shelf. It's just got 4 compartments, and so I got these bins. They're 14 by 14 cloth bins from Amazon, and they've been great for school storage, and they don't look junky in my house. I can still make it look pretty nice. So I really like them for tossing in all of our books, papers, whatnot, so that's been great. What I'm using from last year is our Bob books. Let me just get these out. We did these first 2 last year. They were the pre-reading skills, alphabet, and pre-reading skills, and buzzed through those. I'm not going to use them again this year. I'll wait for my youngest to get older, probably next year. He'll go into those. But I will go back to the beginning readers set 1. We started this last year, but it was quite difficult for him. We had to work through it. We only got through 4 books, so we're going to work on this one this year. Also with this, I made a little game, which I think is kind of cool to go with your reading. We have a dice that we made full of consonants, so he knows his letter sounds. And then I made another dice with a bunch of 2-letter simple things to create a 3-letter word. So in other words, like when he rolls these together, he's going to be spelling mad. Or when these come together, it'll be rat, or things like that. I'm not sure if that's going backwards now on the screen. But anyway, so this is a really fun idea. He liked it as a game. My kid loves games. Make school a game. He loves it. So that goes kind of with our Bob books. The words that are used in here, I try to do on the dice so that these can kind of work together as we're learning the words. Another thing from last year that I'm going to continue just to file away, we are going to continue with our David and Jonathan Club and our Child Evangelism Fellowship Mailbox Club. So we did that last year. I can put the links to the websites below. It's a free mailbox club for Bible lessons that the kids can do and participate in. They learn about the post office and mailing things back and forth. That's fun. Also in this binder, we have the ClubHouse magazine. And this is a magazine that I used to get when I was a kid. So it's been around for a while and it's really fun. And it's great, like kindergarten. My kid loves it. You do have to read a little bit to them, but there's some games in there. There's jokes. My son loves jokes. So I keep all the magazines after they've been read a while in here. And then when we go on a car trip or something, I can take this binder with us and he's got all these magazines to go over again. So to keep them around, they're Christian magazine, they're really great. I did pay for that one. I believe there was promotional rates too. I think it was around $25 for the year. So that's really great. So we're going to continue doing that this year coming up as well. Now I'm a second generation homeschooling mom, so I was homeschooled. So I talk a lot about, when I was a kid, we did this and this and this. Here's another throwback, and this is still from my book, but my child just finished this, he loved it. The Cul-de-sac Kids. They're fun little books. They're usually about 60 to 70 pages. And I've been reading to my son a little bit more this year, and they're a really cute series for kids. When he gets a little older, he can read them on his own. But this size of book and with this kind of story, he's starting to really get engaged. He just turned 5 and he's really starting to be interested in this. So we're going to do a lot more reading this year, me reading to him. And we'll definitely try to dig out some more of my Cul-de-sac Kids books. Something else, so for curriculums and things that I bought, I'm going to be going back to Abeka books like I was raised on for math, for language, and for writing. The science, I don't remember ever liking the science books when I was young. The older ones, biology in high school, like that, they were fine, I guess. But for my younger years, I was not interested in science at all. So I have a little bit of a funny impression. Plus, there's so many neat ways to learn about science and facts that are fun and more interactive than a book. So I've chosen for my table time learning, more structured, more traditional, to be math, language, and writing. So we have ordered the Abeka Numbers and Letters Arithmetic K5 second edition, this one, and Letters and Sounds K5 here, second edition. Also, I have ordered the phonics, the writing with phonics. Now, I read somewhere that kids actually do really well if you start them off with handwriting. He did a little printing last year for some things, but we're going to try cursive writing first and see how it goes. I definitely don't want to lose cursive. I know the schools don't require it anymore, so we're definitely going to try it. I bought his writing in not unbound form to put it in a binder, and this way he has no fold beside everything. He's a lefty too, so I thought this would be better for when he's writing in his book. He won't have the middle binding to kind of have his arm over. So I really like that I got this unbound. Word of warning, Abeka does not send it to you hole punched. So if you don't have a good hole punch, it'll take some time. And it took me some time to make sure all the holes were correct and in the right place. I was a little disappointed with that, but it's all right. It took me like 10 minutes and then it was done. So, and for those, so Abeka, apparently it's new for their website. Abeka has free shipping now, so that was great. I love free shipping. The Letter and Sounds K5 was $16.85 Canadian. The Number Skills was $16.85 Canadian, and the writing without the unbound form was $14.90, and there's tax on top of that. So that was really good. My total bill from Abeka was $51.03. I did not order any of the teacher's keys. This is a grade level that's young enough that I don't think I'm going to need it. I didn't order any of the planners or anything, just the workbook. And I'm going to try to do all the rest of what we need outside of that. So that's the money that I spent, was on the actual workbooks. So speaking of money and spending, for science, we're going to do as free as we can. It's just kindergarten. We're not going to do anything too hardcore for science. I did look into and find some programs that I really loved, but I'm going to save them for some older years. So a couple of things that I did find just at a garage sale were these fun little kind of science nature books. So like Frightening Fighters and Amazing Creatures and Revolting Reptiles, things like that. So what my plan is to go through little books like this, or even I got some animal ones. And this is stuff you could find at your library, like baby penguin, baby panda, you know, all these different animals. And something that I've discovered that I didn't know existed that I loved is the journaling and notebooking. When you can make like an interactive folder. That's really, really neat. And if you go to, I'll put the link down below, there's a homeschooling website with a whole bunch of free ones that you can print off and you can do with your kids. So that's really great. So we are going to be doing a whole bunch of notebooking with these books. So when we finish this, or as we do this book, then we're going to do a notebook on it. And not notebook in the traditional sense, but in the notebooking, when you take like a file folder, and then you fold it. I can do this nicely. You fold it like this, and then you open it up and you can make a cover page, and inside you make wheels and charts and flip tags and stuff about all the things you're learning. And then you can keep this as sort of a study guide and a memory of what you did. It's a little bit crafty, so you get your craft in there. So I plan to do a bunch of notebooking. I bought from Amazon a whole bunch of colorful ones. So I have all these files in color. I don't have a color printer, so I try to make my paper colorful. And then I also got from Amazon just a whole bunch of colored printer paper. So when we make things to go inside of it and we're gluing and sticking, I can print on black and white on my colored paper. So that is something that's exciting. My child has asked, my son asked, can I please learn about pirates and dinosaurs and the earth? So I also picked this up secondhand, the earth. It's a little bit over his head, but we'll pick through it and look at things and talk about things in the earth, and we'll make our little notebook out of it, our interactive notebook. And I also, encouraging reading this year, I picked up Pirate's Passage. I'm going to pre-read it first to make sure that it's A-okay. It's supposed to be great for kids. It's an adventure story. It's not from a Christian perspective, but it's supposed to be a great boy book and not as intense as like Pirates of the Caribbean and things like that. So this should be fun. I do intend on teaching him about pirates from more of a historical perspective, how they started, pirates around the world, making it real. We're not going to learn about fantasy pirates for social studies, but definitely we'll get some real education in there and keep with our notebooking with that. So I'm really looking forward to that. Also last year I talked about not using my planner, and I didn't. I got my planner from Tina's dynamichomeschoolplus.com, and she has this really neat 7-step planner, and you go through each step and you pick what kind of planner works for you. You can pay some for the cute ones, or there's free ones too. So each step you pick something that you really, really like. And I didn't use it last year, but I think I printed off too many things that I didn't use, and my planning was too detailed for preschool. I'm going to make my planning much more general. So I went to Staples and I looked through all their planners there, and they're like $15-30. And I thought, I'm going to go, and you can spend like under $5 to print off a pretty planner. And then I got this little half-inch binder on clearance, and so I can pretty it up with tape or colors, or I can just leave it simple. I kind of like it simple, so it's not too flashy sitting around my house. So anyway, so I did that. So, I mean, she's got inspirational Bible verses. You can have cover. Again, I have a black and white printer, so I just color some things, or I can leave it black and white. Homeschooling mission statements, supply lists. It helps you plan things. They've got weekly planners if you want. This is still something I had printed from last year. I don't know how much I'll use these, but I did print off a few of them. And I just have like a general calendar. This is usually what I use. I just use a basic calendar. I write in our appointments. If I want to do homeschooling planning, if there's something out of the ordinary, that goes on here. If there's things that we just do day to day, I don't write it on because we do it. I don't take time to sit down and plan out everything in the day. I might become that person, but I'm not yet. So anyway, so she's got a great website for, depending on how whoever prints it off, how they organize things. She's got so many different types of planning things to print off, and they're free. So that's just great. Something else that I've just been doing, this is stuff that's going to be going into a filing cabinet, but I got a package of little letters, and I have taken a sleeve, clear sleeve like this, and all of my things from last year. Like, here's my preschool progress report and some of the things that we did last year, my planning, things that I did do, my registration form for homeschooling for preschool. I'm keeping in this sleeve, and currently I have it in a binder. This will move to a banker's box, I'm sure, eventually after we homeschool for a little while. But then I have, I put my letters here for pre-kindergarten. Then I have a record of what we did. Where I'm from in Manitoba, the government is not picky about how you record keep, but I do want a record just in case that changes. And also, as you get higher in the grades, it is important. I know for myself as an adult, it is important for your high school records to be around when you want to go to university and you don't have a legit diploma. They want to see stuff. They want to see what you did. They want to see your portfolio. So for sure in your high school, universities, they don't mind homeschoolers, but they want to see what your kids have done and things like that. So I do want to make sure I just get into the habit of record keeping while my kids are little, so I'm really good at it when they're older. And that's about it that we've done for our homeschooling prep. So we've got some workbooks, we have a plan for science, we got some reading plans. I definitely am going to go in with a strategy of reading to them in the morning, making sure we have some table time, having still lots of play and fun. My youngest is 3, so I'm sure he'll be taking along for as much as he can. And we hope to have a great second school year.